how is the talent situation? If you just give us a little bit of overview, how does it looks like, and how is it kind of impacting the growth of the sector?
Thank you, Sumit, for inviting me for this panel. It's an honor to interact with you at Mr. Girish. This is indeed a very interesting time for the IT and ITES sector. It's interesting because there is so much of demand for digital skills which are coming from all across the world, from all across different clients. There is demand because the COVID situation has made people realize, the companies realize, that the only way that they can grow and sustain the businesses and create better experiences for their customers and their employees is to go digital. And when they go digital, there's a lot of demand for those kind of skills. And the people in India should be very happy to know that, you know, a lot of that demand is getting funneled into India. Almost every company has got their order books full. Almost every company has no shortage of demand at this moment. And of course, these are all cycles, as we all know. What seems to be constraining today's industry is the fact that there's not enough supply. And I think that that's something which is leading to a good amount of churn in the industry, which does no good to anybody on the long run. On the short run, yes, candidates are getting better offers, but on the long run, that's something which is just not sustainable as an industry, because as a country we will lose our competitive edge, and we'll have the same people going around in the country if we don't do something about it. And as an HR leader, I'm extremely concerned about the fact that is our competitiveness of the talent slowly going away, and we need to do urgent things in this area to ensure that we get this act right.
Yes, definitely. But tell me, what's the reason why we have arrived at a situation where there is a talent crunch? Do you think there's enough of investments which is being made to create talent? I mean, were we prepared? Did we foresee a situation like this arising, which is now kind of impacting the entire business? I mean, we've heard about the Great Resignation. We've heard about how the organization is resorting to some insane initiatives to retain their talent. Some of them are friendly, some of them are not so friendly. But what's your take on that? Do you think industry is kind of what led to the situation, and what's the learning that the sector has today to avoid a situation like this in future?
Yeah, I think that's a very valid question, because if you ask the same question about 2 years back, I think the mood was absolutely despondent. There were customers across the world who were going down. And, there was a lockdown in India, and there were people who were losing their jobs. I think nobody could have that time thought long term, saying that, what really is going to happen to the sector. So therefore, a lot of the thinking which different companies had was obviously very short term, which is quite understandable. But the fact is that, that any investment on something which is infrastructure, and to that extent, talent building is infrastructure. That's something which can't go down. And I think a lot of the companies and the industry as a whole did stop investing in talent, did stop investing in creating talent outside, all of course, for the reason of ensuring that we have sustenance, or at least the companies are afloat at that point in time. And when the demand returned, and this is in my career, this is probably the 5th time that there was a slowdown, which is just followed by a boom. We saw the first in 2001, when there was a 9/11 which happened in US. Yeah. There was a boom, and Y2K had just kind of got over, and everybody said that there's the end of the IT industry, and there was a boom after that. The same thing happened in 2008, when there was a financial sector crisis, and 1 year later we were all struggling for talent. So to that, in hindsight, it does appear that we were caught on the wrong foot as an industry, as different companies, and we should have continued our investment in talent right through the pandemic, while of course balancing the short-term needs which every organization has to do. So we were clearly underprepared. The issue also was that, a lot of companies did not hire from their campuses. So there were people who were, campus hiring dates were, delayed, things like that. Fortunately, there is some respite in that, because in the last, we were doing this calculation. It looks like almost 5 lakh new talent has got into the IT industry, ITS industry, which means that, they will, of course, they take their own time to get scaled up to what companies really require to deliver to the clients. But at least there is some silver lining in this entire talent. And I'm sure that, a lot of work that we can all do together, and, supporting NASSCOM, and of course, taking good help from companies like yours, Sumit. I'm sure that, we can do something which can make this sector sustainable.